Good evening. It's Sunday, July 12th, and this is Done by Dark, the day wrapped up. Tonight, the story that changed the most between sunrise and sunset. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important stretches of water on Earth, is closed. It started quietly. This morning, a single container ship was moving along the coast of Oman, hugging the shoreline to stay out of Iranian waters. Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it struck the vessel, damaging the engine room and leaving one Indian crew member missing. It was the kind of incident that on another day might have stayed a headline for a few hours. Today it didn't. By tonight, that one ship had pulled the United States and Iran back to the brink. The United States answered within hours. Central Command says it hit around 140 Iranian targets, missile and drone launch sites, ammunition dumps, communications. The Defense Secretary's message was blunt. Iran made a poor choice, and now they pay. Then came the line that will ripple into tomorrow. Iran declared the Strait of Hormuz closed until further notice. Here's why that matters far beyond the Gulf. Roughly a fifth of all the oil the world trades passes through this one narrow channel, along with much of its liquefied natural gas. When it closes, energy markets everywhere feel it, and eventually, so does the price at the pump. Crude had actually drifted back toward pre-war levels in recent weeks, as the spring's panic faded. Tonight, that calm is in question again. And the first real test comes when markets open in the morning. Underneath all of it, a fragile ceasefire. The one that began on June 17th is now hanging by a thread. Mediators from Pakistan, Qatar, and Egypt spent the evening working the phones, trying to keep 60 days of talks from unraveling in a single night. That was the big one. Here's the rest of the day quickly. At home, something rare happened in Washington. The biggest housing bill in more than 30 years became law, and it did it without a signature. It sat on the president's desk for 10 days. He chose not to sign it and not to veto it, and at midnight the clock simply ran out, and it became law anyway. Inside are more than 45 measures to build more homes, to lower costs, and to limit how many single-family houses big Wall Street firms can buy up and rent back to the rest of us. For anyone who's tried to buy a first home lately, that last piece is the one to watch. Across the Pacific, Typhoon Bavi came ashore in eastern China after grazing Japan and Taiwan. More than 1 million people were moved to safety ahead of it, by some counts closer to 2 million. The storm is weakening now, but it's carrying an enormous amount of water inland. Closer to home, summer is about to bite. A heat dome is building over the plains and the upper Midwest, with a real feel that could reach 115 degrees. And forecasters think it could hold for much of the month. And in the West Bank, California Congressman Ro Khanna says he was briefly detained by armed settlers while visiting a destroyed village, a reminder of how tense that ground remains. So before you close the day, here's what to watch tomorrow. First, markets. Monday opens into a closed strait, and the first thing to watch is oil. A sustained spike there reaches all the way to the gas pump. Second, whether that ceasefire formally collapses or whether the mediators manage to pull it back. Third, flooding, as Typhoon Bavi tracks inland over China. Fourth, that heat dome tightening across the middle of the country. And fifth, the first real signs of the new housing law taking effect. That's the day. Done by dark. It was a heavy one, and there's a lot still unsettled tonight. But the world will still be turning in the morning. The sun will come up on by noon, and we'll be right back here after dark to wrap it all again. For now, rest easy. Good night.